Hey guys, it's me today on the show. AOC backtracks on Amazon and blames the people of New York for them pulling out. Nice. Hillary Clinton is definitely not running. Sure. R. Kelly is getting ready to be fitted for an orange jumpsuit. And another day, another fake leftist hate crime. Oh, wait, no. Today there's two of them.
It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Hello, welcome to the show. Are you having a nice March? I hope so. Which is what Kim Jong-il tells his troops every day. Okay, thank you. I'll be here all week. Glad to have you guys here. Much to get to on the show. Tons and tons of stuff. There's not a crisis at the border, apparently. That's what the left is saying. DHS Secretary Kristen Nielsen says, not so soon. The Democrat Party is going after Donald Trump again. 81 of Donald Trump's associates being subpoenaed for nothing. Creating a crime that isn't there, or starting an investigation before any evidence is there. That's Banana Republic stuff. That's even worse than that, to be quite honest. That's just Stalinistic. Hillary Clinton not going to run. Her southern accent makes a return. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez now blames the people of New York for Amazon pulling out of New York, and R. Kelly, a bunch of stuff. And we got some fun video, too, so it's not all politics. There are other things involved. Check out teepublic.com, teepublic.com. Look for conservatees. Got a ton of designs up there that are really, really cool. And if you would order, that'd be great, because me and my buddy Sam Cangelosi have come up with those designs, and we would like to try to make a go of it with fun designs. Coming up, we've got a special line of fun foodie wear. I know, foodie. I'm a foodie. I got about 100 cooking videos, and I do a podcast on Spoonie.com, which is a national radio station, which is about food, because I cook, okay? So Donald Trump, well, this Friday we understand that Robert Mueller's investigation is wrapping up. The results will come out, and there's nothing there. And the Democrat Party has telegraphed this, has telescoped this. Everybody knows there's nothing there after this massive investigation, millions and millions of dollars wasted, despite people crying out on the right side of the political persuasion saying there was never anything there. This is always about distracting from Hillary Clinton, distracting from the dossier paid for by Hillary Clinton and the DNC to illegally surveil the Trump campaign. And this is what this is right now. This is what this has become. This is another version of that. Right now, the Democrat Party, they know that no fruit is going to be bared from a bird, whatever, anyway, from the investigation. So now they have to go after something else, and they're doing it again without any evidence whatsoever. This time, not a distraction. This time, just to go after Donald Trump. The dossier, all of that was to take away from Hillary Clinton's true collusion with the Russian government, with Uranium One, with $150 million going into the Clinton Foundation. That was what that was there for. The dossier was meant to distract and disrupt the Trump campaign, send it off its rails, and then disrupt his transition. Now that we know that the investigation is bearing no fruit, the Democrats move on to something else, because they have to find something to take Donald Trump out of office. And if it's not there is no greater, honestly, no greater example of the desire of not only the Democrat Party to get Donald Trump out of office, but also Katie Turd on MSNBC, talking to Sheila Jackson Lee, literally during this interview. Okay, as the subpoenas are going out to 81 Trump his acolytes, not only acolytes, but just associates. 81 of them being subpoenaed for nothing. Sheila Jackson Lee loves it. Katie Turr is convinced this is finally what's going to get him impeached.
Jerry Nadler, the chairman of your committee, said that this probe is looking into obstruction of justice, public corruption, and abuse of power. When you look at this, and you look at everybody that's been called and all of the documents that they're requesting, is this an impeachment hearing in everything but name? So when Chairman Nadler said he is building a public record, you're basically saying that you're building a public record that could lead you to full-on impeachment hearings. Chairman Nadler also said that he believes it is clear the president has obstructed justice.
How? How?
Believes it's clear that he's violated the emoluments clause. Michael Cohen said that he committed a felony while he was in office.
Michael Cohen is a liar. Michael Cohen is going to jail for lying to Congress. And when he just testified before Congress again, he did it again.
And he had the check signed by Donald Trump that he says prove that. Do you agree with?
Yeah, Donald Trump, he did. He literally, I don't know if Cohen did it first, but, Donald Trump was trying to save his marriage. He screwed around on his wife, and he paid off somebody to be quiet. Sure. It's not like you're blackmailing someone. You're just saying, hey, you know what? Here's the deal. I'll give you this because your porn star career is not going anywhere. You're 38 years old, to be quite honest.
Chairman Nadler, do you believe that the president might have committed a crime? You say there's evidence of obstruction. If there is evidence of a crime,
that looks like a Star Wars villain there on the Sheila Jackson Lee with the hair like that. It looks literally like George Lucas did her hair.
Been committed. Do you think that should lead to impeachment? I understand you're calling it a political process, but I just want to delve in a little deeper and see where the line is when it comes.
She looks like on the Star Wars on the light side, the General Council when they all get together and they vote. She looks like she should be sitting in the galley with the other characters.
Impeachment, and whether it's only a political process. If the president is found to have violated the Constitution by violating the emoluments clause, by accepting bribes, gifts from
Katie Turd doesn't even know what she's talking about, but she knows her talking points.
Foreign heads from foreign countries.
And there's no evidence of that, by the way.
If he's found to be guilty of that, and there's a court that's winding its way through Congress.
There's a court that's winding its way through Congress. There's a court that's... Okay.
Is found to be guilty of violating the Constitution. Is it Congress's duty to impeach him or to try to impeach him? For me, I'm just wondering if
okay, we get it. Okay, this sort of wishful thinking has been going on. This sort of mental masturbation has been going on NBC, CNN, all of the late night talk shows. This has been going on forever. I had someone who I once regarded kind of as a friend, Chip Franklin, who's now just gone batshit crazy. Works for KGO in San Francisco. Used to work at WBAL in Baltimore. Blocked me this week from commenting on his Twitter feed, by the way. Just bananas. I mean, the guy has just gone bananas. He is a hate-filled, vitriolic. His little short Twitter videos. I mean, they're very highly produced and everything, but they are just off the rails insane. And that's what the left has become in this country. They've gone nuts. They've driven themselves insane because they can't handle the fact that Donald Trump is the president, and they will do anything, to remove him from office. And they have this wishful thinking every time anything happens. This is the thing that's going to take him out. And I guess my former friend Chip Franklin can't handle the truth. Could I say, there's still nothing there, Chip. There's still nothing there. I wasn't saying anything vulgar to him. I was just commenting actually in a humorous tone on his Twitter feed, and he couldn't take it. And he goes on Fox News every once in a while, and Fox News hates him because he goes on Fox News, he always loses the argument, then he claims that he won the argument, then he badmouths Fox News when he's off the air. So I think they're probably done with him. But he made it on Fox News, so he's big time. I haven't been on Fox News, so I'm not big time, I guess. Hillary Clinton not going to run for president. Here she is saying it.
Oh, this is the day the Lord has made.
Oh, no. This is even better. Hold on.
Rejoice.
This is when she starts bringing back her Southern accent. Let me find her actually saying that she is not going to run for president. This is the time, and the reason why. Maybe, is this a dose of common sense? Is this her finally going and accepting, hey, you know what? Really? I have no chance of winning. I doubt it. But anyway, here she is talking to a news reporter in upstate New York for a small station, Westchester, I guess. Westchester, Channel 12, saying she's not going to run.
I'm not running, but I'm going to keep working and speaking and standing up for what I believe.
Okay. She's done. I mean, come on. She's done. You've got these young Turks in Congress, who, by the way, the bat crap crazy left, Rashida Tlaib, OAC, and their ilk, they're really overplaying their hands. Rashida Tlaib, I believe, is leading a march for Trump's impeachment. She's been at her job for 2 months, and she wants her boss fired. It's kind of funny, right? When somebody has a job for 2 months and then demands their boss be fired. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But these leftists in Congress, these new leftists, are driving the party even further left, driving Bernie Sanders even further left, as though that could happen, to where the point that he's actually got to be honest about socialized medicine. And he's just trying to out-left them, but they are so beyond left, it's not even funny. Green New Deal. Oh, by the way, and then Bernie Sanders this week said that the Green New Deal doesn't go far enough. Really? All right. Let's hear Hillary Clinton. This is at a voting rights event in Selma, Alabama. Here she is bringing back that old fake Southern accent that she has not had, by the way, for decades. And even when she lived in Arkansas, she faked it then. The accent I'm talking about.
This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, and then let's get to work. Reverend,
I love it when Democrats can go in churches and campaign. Republicans can't and wouldn't, because they don't think it belongs there.
Green, when those bones get up.
Little bones get up.
And when that spirit is breathed into them, and they start climbing out of that valley, the first place
this is so disgustingly pandering when you're dealing with a largely black audience. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because with a lot of people, with a lot of African Americans in this country who voted 96% for Barack Obama, it's okay. Because they put party above pandering, before absolute racist insult behavior like Hillary Clinton. They put party first.
The goal is to register to vote. Because, I've heard Corey preach.
I've heard Corey preach.
Yeah. Oh, Mrs. Sewell, you know.
Oh, Mrs. Sewell, you know.
I mean, you just get ready. But I want to say, and when they went to work, I
had a small turkey sandwich this morning, and it's kind of coming up again.
Found a receptive Supreme Court who came up with the most absurd decision.
Does she talk like this all the time? When she's sitting, at the giant dining room table in Chappaqua, and Bill Clinton is literally 50 feet away from her on the other end, and she's here, and they barely talk to. She goes, "Bill, will you please pass me the salt?"
There are a lot of absurd decisions, but this is, in many ways, the most absurd. The Congress is supposed to legislate based on evidence and facts, which we did, and then it gets up to the Supreme Court, and they say, just think about it. Between 2012, the prior presidential election, where we still had the Voting Rights Act,
yes,
and 2016, when my name was on the ballot,
wow,
there were fewer voters registered in Georgia than there had been those prior 4 years. Think about it, my friends.
Dear Lord.
And I know that if we do our part, we can take back this country and put it back on the path that was begun and forged here in Selma 54 years ago. God bless you, Brown Chapel.
Wow, back. I didn't realize that back was a two-syllable word. I didn't realize it. Honestly, it's just amazing. If it were I hate doing that, because if we're Republican, the shoe would be on the other foot. It would be completely different. And I've said that so many times that it sounds like it's just a cliche, it's just a reaction, but it's true. It's true. My God in heaven. I'm going to get into some crazy environmentalism also. AOC backtracking on the whole Amazon thing. DHS Secretary Kristen Nielsen was before Congress the other day. And we've got a crisis on the southern border. I was just reading a piece in the New York Post. It's right here in this computer I keep looking over at. This is the Post editorial board. Yes, this looks like a border crisis. More than 76,000 migrants crossed the southern border illegally last month. The highest number in 12 years. Okay? Immigration officials say the number is only going to increase, creating what Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McAleenan warns is a border security and humanitarian crisis. This is giant. And when Barack Obama was the president the last few months of his administration, I said that he had lit fires and I likened his leaving the Oval Office to the scene in a action movie where the villain walks away calmly, flicks a cigarette into a stream of gasoline coming out of whatever behind him. The flame goes as he's exiting, blows up the building, and the villain reacts unemotionally and unaffected. That's what Barack Obama did when he left office with regard to what's happening at our border. And we started with DACA and then PACA. PACA was for the parents of those children that came across and were able to disappear into the fabric of our society, missing their court dates. 26 Republican governors said no to PACA, so mom and dad were left south of the border. The only reason why so many began to stream in the Obama administration was it wasn't because of global warming, like Al Gore said. It wasn't because of poverty in those countries. It was because of policy. There was a policy being broadcast to everyone down there, I do believe, quite deliberately by the U.S. government, by the Obama administration, that made it very clear to the people of those countries that they were going to be welcome here. That's the only way you would see such a large collective movement happen like this. The only reason why caravans are happening, caravans do not just suddenly happen. People from Honduras and Guatemala don't suddenly get together and say, hey, let's go to the United States. It is a policy that is being broadcast down there. It is being funded by the left, most probably, I hate to use a cliche, but George Soros and Barack Obama and their ilk, and they're telling people, do it, go, you won't be stopped, do it, go, you won't be stopped. And they're coming, and they're coming, and they're coming, and it is a humanitarian crisis. And it is a massive threat to our border security. Here is Kristen Nielsen talking about the crisis at our border.
We also will continue to uphold our humanitarian ideals, but illegal immigration is simply spiraling out of control and threatening public safety and national security. We face a crisis, a real, serious, and sustained crisis at our borders. We have
Do you realize how badly the Democrat Party has sold its soul? I mean, voting for post-birth abortion, okay? And you'll see Democrats say, well, infanticide is already illegal, Elizabeth Warren. No. Not in this case. They're literally saying that if a mother has decided she's going to abort her child and the baby survives abortion after birth laying on a table, the doctor and the mother can decide to kill it. Okay, bullcrap. So they sold their soul there. They have sold their soul in so many ways, and they've sold their soul. They're selling their soul towards socialism, and they're selling their soul with regard to our border as children are being sex trafficked, as 60% of the women coming across the border are being sexually assaulted during the trip, as children, when they cross the border as young as 9, being given pregnancy tests. The Democrat Party has sold its freaking soul. More from Kristen Nielsen.
Of thousands of illegal aliens arriving at our doorstep every month.
Illegal alien.
We have drugs, criminals, and violence spilling into our country every week. And we have smugglers and traffickers profiting from human misery every single day by exploiting people who are seeking a better life, deceiving them.
Do you hear any Democrats saying this has to stop? Even just the sex trafficking has to stop. No, not one iota.
About our laws and fueling everything from sexual slavery to child exploitation to the smuggling of illicit goods. Make no mistake, this chain of human misery is getting worse. Yesterday, we announced that the numbers of apprehension at our southern border have spiked again.
This is a crisis.
Again, substantially. Since late last year, we have been seeing 50 to 60,000 migrants arrive at our southern border each month. But in February, we saw a 30% jump over the previous month, with agents apprehending or encountering nearly 75,000 aliens. This is an 80% increase over the same time last year.
Okay. That is an invasion. Okay. In any other country in the world, that would be an invasion. In any other country in the world, that would make massive headlines. If this were streaming from Germany into France, that would make headlines. If this were anywhere in the world, this would be making headlines as an invasion. But we're the big, soft United States of America. We are a beacon of freedom. And we usually get bitch slapped by the third world. And in the past, we've always just taken it. The trail of gasoline has been lit, and the explosion is happening. Alexandria Idiota Cortez, who is, I think, cooking her own goose. Behind the new Green Deal, was behind the exodus of Amazon, who relished it in an interview outside of her office. Was thrilled that Amazon was leaving because they were going to leave that $3 billion that New York was going to give them, that New York was giving them in tax credits to keep them coming. She's backtracking her opposition to the Amazon building. Okay? She said, we welcome a process. We welcome having a community process, but I don't know where the talks are at this stage. Well, the talks aren't there because they said, screw you, New York. And they should, because you could still backtrack and go the other way again if they decide to come there. That's just the way liberal states are. They did it in Seattle, and Amazon said, you know what? We're done. In Seattle, they wanted to charge a $275 fee tax per employee on Amazon, and they voted to revoke it soon thereafter. And Amazon, after it happened, said, no, forget about it. I got to get a glass of water. Hold on. And I am back. Had to take a glass of water real quick. So anyways, it says, Secret Chebart, whatever, Ocasio-Cortez chief of staff. Not sure if this is the one that she funneled $1 billion with to his companies, but she's under fire for that. And none of the networks are covering it. He says to Bloomberg Television, what she was vocal about was the process by which it happened, the deal. Amazon is the company that chose to step away from the negotiating table. No, they didn't. They were chased out. There was the negotiation. The negotiating was over. The deal was done. The governor, the mayor of New York said, here's what we're going to give you. So the deal was done. And Miss Cortez and her community organizers chose to chase him off. Billboard went up in Times Square mocking her, saying thanks to Ocasio-Cortez. And they basically said bye-bye. Here are a couple of things from the deal, by the way. $3 billion in subsidies to build its second headquarters in Queens. $505 million in capital grant, which is actual cash. Okay, that's fine. $1.2 billion in Excelsior credits, whatever that is. Credits if job creation goals are met. That brought the total amount of public funds in the form of expenditure and tax credits to $2.98 billion. In other words, $48,000 per job. Officials predicted Amazon would generate $27.5 billion in state and city tax revenue over 25 years. This based on the assumption that the company stopped, blah, 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 blah. $150,000 a job. She took credit for the destroyed jobs and now is basically blaming the voters in a fluffer interview. I don't even know who this guy is, but he is sucking up so badly to her. Here she is talking about why it wasn't her fault that Amazon said bye-bye.
Of having it in a way, right? Even this symbolic power, right? The Amazon deal collapses and people say, Ocasio-Cortez, and I've been following it and reporting it. I was like, wait a minute, she does a lot of stuff, but I don't think she was involved in this.
I sent like 3 tweets.
Yeah. I mean,
no, it was more than your 3 tweets. It was a campaign by you and your followers.
But so some of that sort of continues, right? I mean, people will ask you, who do you like for mayor in 2021? Right. Are you going to run for mayor in 2021?
Well, no, that's for sure.
That's a definitive one. Okay,
that's a definitive one. And I do recognize that there is that kind of symbolic power because not just because of me or my name.
You said you're the boss the other day. You said you're the boss. Okay.
But I think because people do trust that we try our best to do things with integrity, and we're at least trying to. We're
at least trying. I mean, we're failing, but we're trying. See, this is this is good intentions. Okay, good intentions mean dick if you wreck people's lives.
Make our systems transparent and more accountable to everyday people.
And they always become less transparent when Democrats get involved.
So I am aware of that. And, with Amazon, one of the big reasons that I took the position that I did was because I was listening to that.
Your sycophants.
pocket of the community where this was going. And it was very clear and decisive feedback, and as an elected official for that community, I felt a responsibility to say, this is what I'm hearing.
The people of Queens wanted the damn thing. Your leftist band, and probably most of them from outside of New York, those are the ones you're listening to. Here she's speaking in code. She's speaking in code. She's admitting that it was her people listening to her, but she's saying it was the people of Queens. Everybody in Queens wanted the damn plant there. Everybody wanted it there. All the restaurant owners who spent millions of dollars because they expected increased foot traffic. All of the people who were being paid piss poorly. The New York minimum wage, which is the Democrat talking point, which is what you can expect from the Democrat Party, the minimum wage. There were a lot of people who said $150,000, that would be life-changing. I'm gonna actually train myself so I can get the job. I'm gonna learn more. And now what do you got? Minimum wage.
Mm-hmm. And so it is a balance, and it's something that I try to do better at every day. And of course I'll make mistakes here and there, but
I'll make mistakes here
but
and
I
there.
think that,
but most people don't make 25 or 27 or $28 billion mistakes and then try to laugh it off. God, she's so effing stupid. She's so dangerously ignorant and stupid. I'm not going to laugh this off. And, I like to try and have fun here, But she's so effing stupid and dangerous. I'm going to get into the R. Kelly thing interview. And I know you don't know R. Kelly, and I'm not a big R. Kelly fan. But we'll get into that. Here's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, by the way, I don't know if you knew this. She been talking about, how she wants to get rid of air travel and wants to get rid of cars. And she does. No doubt about it. She does. In her utopian society, the people ride in rickshaws. I mean, this is third world stuff. This is communistic stuff. They want you to ride donkeys and bicycles. Look at North Korea. You ride bicycles as the motorcade drives by with AOC and her entourage. And they're the ones who become the billionaires in the country, not people who are actually entrepreneurial. Here she is talking about, and I didn't mention, she and her campaign spent $30,000 on Uber and Lyft, even though they lived 130, or they were headquartered 135 feet from the subway. But this is what the left does. You drive crappy little cars, we drive in a motorcade. You fly coach, if you fly at all, we fly in private jets. That's just the way it is. I've been saying this for years. Here she is talking about the guilt of associated with using plastic bags. Right here.
I can be upset that I get 10 plastic bags at the grocery store and then have to toss out my plastic bags because the recycling program in the area is tough, and that's okay.
How about you just don't get the plastic bags? And how about you just stop talking up like you're a valley girl, like you're 12?
Hey, all of these are not reasons to stop fighting. All of these are reasons to keep fighting. Mm-hmm. And these are all reasons and pieces of evidence to say, hey, we need to make it easier to recycle.
I don't even know where to go. In this fluffer interview, this guy who's with her, I'm not going to run any more of it. It's just unbelievable. Oh, here is Mazie Hirono, who talks about, she's from Hawaii, senator from Hawaii, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says no air travel. And here is Senator Hirono, whose state's economy relies on tourism more than anything else. I mean, sugarcane is great and pineapple is great and coffee is cool, but it ain't the multi-billion-dollar tourism industry to Hawaii, which, by the way, the United States made into a jewel with actual infrastructure you can drive around, unlike a lot of tropical destinations where you ride through hell to get to Sandals Resort. The United States actually made Hawaii absolutely awesome. Modern, with great infrastructure, without disrupting the natural beauty of the island. Here she is saying that getting rid of air travel is not as nutty as opposing the Green New Deal.
More recently about the Green New Deal, you were saying Yeah, I think you were joking. Tell me what you were saying in terms of travel, about
whether
jet
we
fuel.
were trying to get rid of air travel. And I said, well, that's going to make it hard for Hawaii. But what the Green New Deal stands for is a recognition that climate change is happening, not sticking our head in the sand. So what's really crazy is Trump and all his minions and his ilk who think that global warming and climate change is not happening, and they'd rather just stick their heads in the sand. They offer absolutely zero in terms of what they would propose. So all they can do is mock and attack, and I think that is a crazy position because they are denying the science behind climate change.
You're denying what you originally called climate change now, which is global warming. And when global warming was proven to be a fallacy and BS, you changed it. You changed it, like you did with abortion. It's choice, and now it's access to women's health care. $90 billion, $90 trillion, maybe $95 trillion over the next 10 years. And they're saying, honestly, that in the next 12 years, the world will be over anyway. Alexandria Cortez said the world will end in 12 years. Do you know how many times the end of the world has been predicted by soothsayers and others over the centuries, Nostradamus, whoever the hell? Hundreds and thousands of times. Do you know how many were right? Okay. Here are some crazy environmentalists. This is great. This is good news. Apparently, as many as 1/3 of Democrat women in this country are debating whether to have children or not because they don't want to bring them into the world if the world is going to end in 12 years. That's cultish. That's just a little cultish. I'm going to play some video from these nutbags in just 1 second. But speaking of bags, how about bags of pretzels? That was a really bad segue. Oh, man, that was bad. Dutch pretzels are the best pretzels in the world. I've had a lot of pretzels in my life. I've never gotten excited about eating a pretzel. I mean, you go to the ballpark, you get a pretzel. It's nice. Dutch pretzels are, for lack of a better term, revolutionary as far as the flavor of pretzels. They're oniony, they're garlicky, they're a little bit of heat, they're glorious, they're a little salty, not overly salty, and you don't want to cover them up with a bunch of stuff. You just want to eat them. You don't want to dip them in mustard, you don't want to dip them in whatever. You just want to eat them. When my wife brings them home, we get excited. They are available up and down the I-29 corridor between North Dakota and Kansas, Missouri. And they are also available in Arizona because they just opened a plant down there. They're growing by leaps and bounds. It's going to get big. And they're wonderful. If you want to order them online, just go to dotspretzels.com, dotspretzels.com. Order several bags because you're going to not want to run out, kids. You do not want to run out of these glorious pretzels. Dotspretzels.com. So, women who are terrified that human activity is accelerating a changing global climate are voluntarily forswearing bearing child. There's a British organization called Birth Strike. The organization comprises people who have decided against having children over fear those children will pollute the environment. The group so far comprises about 60 women and a handful of men. And the men are like, dude, these chicks totally don't want to have kids. All right. This is Darwinism. If you believe in Darwinism, this is the idiots, weeding themselves out of the culture so the smarter can continue to live. Blythe Papino is a British environmentalist talking about how she's seriously considering not having children. Let me find this piece. It's really funny. Deciding they don't want to have children. This is great. We don't have to take care of this anymore. Here, like a crazy environmentalist saying they're not going to have children because the world's going to end.
Our planet is in a kind of collapse. The natural world is collapsing around us, and that's actually...
Dude, she doesn't want to have kids. All right.
...happening right now.
That's why the 6 guys are there. You got a handful of guys and 60 women who are committed to not wanting to have babies. Come on, man.
And I'm so disappointed by the response by authorities to this crisis, and so freaked out by it. Everything that I've read, that I've basically last year I came to the decision that I couldn't bring a child into that.
Yes, mission accomplished. She's not gonna breed. Woohoo! Oh, wow. We just need a few more liberals to do this. A few 100 million.
And I was asking around people that I know, put it a little bit out on Facebook, and realised actually quite a lot of other people are making this decision.
60 women and a handful of dudes.
Yeah, and so we realised
we're after one thing.
It was really, really important to tell the public that there are people out there that are so scared about this that they feel that they can't actually have a family.
Good. That's awesome. I love it. So, yeah, here's the statistics. Ocasio-Cortez campaign relied on combustion engine cars. Subway station 138 feet from her Elmhurst campaign office. She listed 1,049 transactions for Uber, Lyft, and Juno and other car services. 505 expenses under Uber alone. She spent $30,000 on those emission-spewing vehicles. Only $8,000 on 52 Metro card transactions. Now, this bat-crazy woman here, Blythe Pepino, listen to this. Former lead singer of the British electronic band The Vaults, who has given up music to focus on full-time on the environment. And gosh darn it, I was waiting for their next record. Because the Vaults are just huge. I mean, wow. When were they going to be in concert next? I couldn't wait. Oh, my God. She apparently made news announcing that she and her partner were pursuing a polyamorous relationship, meaning they have intimate relationships with others while dating each other. Blythe also has a girlfriend, Alice, who she's been with for over a year. Alice, an artist, lives in Bristol, and they don't get to see each other that often. Tom apparently is seeing another girl, Cian, whom she met on Tinder. In addition to this, Tom and Blythe recently started dating a couple, Nick and Sonia, whom they met at a specialist club night in London. Blythe tells the story. They fell in love with them as a couple, and now they hang out regularly. Sometimes they go to movies. Sometimes they have group sex. Blythe and Tom also have one-night stands with people, although these people to be less frequently. I'm just not that good at them. That's Blythe Pepino leading a movement of 60 women and half a dozen horn dog guys who go, yeah, she doesn't want to have babies. Woo! All right. Let's move on to R. Kelly. R. Kelly gave an explosive interview to, what's her name from TV? Drawing a blank on her name. Anyway, just did an explosive interview with regard to his propensity to be with young girls. Okay? Young girls. He has been, it was on CBS he did the interview, by the way. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the host's name, but we'll get to it. You're screaming it in my head right now. I know. Occasionally I have these brain farts because I don't follow pop culture that closely, particularly R. Kelly. But he was on CBS, and he apparently there are a bunch of different charges against him for having sex with underage girls. I met R. Kelly years and years and years ago in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he came in and did an interview with me. Seemed like an affable fellow, but there were still rumors that he liked little girls. There right now we heard of a documentary about Michael Jackson that purportedly finally shows the real truth that everybody knew, that he liked to molest little boys and pay them off with millions and millions and millions of dollars. He liked doing it. That was just the fact. The BBC has pulled his music off the air. Michael Jackson, for as much as you love his music, why do we forgive pop culture items when pop culture icons when they do stuff like this? James Brown abused women. I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, there was Bill Clinton, loved him do the mess around, you know. But because he's an icon, he's iconic, we're willing to forget it, act like it never happened. Here is R. Kelly freaking out on CBS the other morning.
Yo, killing me with this. I gave out 30 years of my career.
Gayle King.
Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me.
R. Kelly flailed his arms.
Listen to that. She acts like a mother. Listen to this.
Our very eyes, sitting down for his first TV interview. Co-anchor Gayle King, and he held nothing back during the drama-filled interview, tearfully declaring his innocence.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave out 30 years.
Wow.
Robert.
Y'all trying to kill me?
R. Kelly flailed his arms, pounded his fist, and spoke directly to viewers.
We're gonna
This
let
is
the
not
camera keep
true.
rolling.
Unreal.
Doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women?
Kelly was indicted last month, pleading not guilty to 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse.
Have you ever had sex with anyone under the age of?
Well, you answered the question before she asked it. Listen, he literally answered the question before she even asked it.
Kelly was indicted last month,
this is
pleading
funny.
not guilty to 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse.
Have you ever had sex with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
Never.
No.
Kelly says the controversy is keeping him away from his own kids.
I need help.
What kind
You need to be kept away from other people's kids.
of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes.
Yes.
What kind of
You
help?
need to stop having sex with children.
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big.
Yeah, it is.
People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
Kelly also slams the Lifetime docuseries
Wow.
Surviving R. Kelly.
You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
The interview lasted more than an hour and a half, and at one point, the 52-year-old had to be restrained by his publicist.
I was actually worried about you when I saw the picture.
I thought I might get accidentally clobbered, but I didn't think that he would deliberately try to hurt me. I never felt in danger talking to him.
This interview was a huge mistake.
I'd feel threatened. I would feel just a little threatened. A little bit more from this piece.
Kelly looks guilty in the court of public opinion, which would make some believe that he's guilty in the court of law.
I'm fighting for my life.
You're going to jail, brother.
R. Kelly also
Yes,
told
I called
Gayle
him brother.
King that
God.
the parents of
You're going to jail, dude. He's going to jail. He and by the way, with the interview with Gayle King, sorry, I had a brain fart on her name. He has 2 girlfriends, by the way, living in his home apparently. And he was asked about the 2 girlfriends, who, by the way, who are much younger than him. In fact, really, really young. These 2 are legal, but here they are.
We have much more of our interview with R. Kelly addressing his current relationship with 2 young women, 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage and 21-year-old Azriel Clary live with him at his Chicago home. Their parents believe that the 52-year-old R&B singer has brainwashed their daughters. The Clarys' attorney released a statement calling Kelly a liar, manipulator, and sociopath. Later this morning, Savage's parents plan to hold a news conference addressing our interview. But here's what Kelly told us about the 2 young women.
Yeah, here we are.
What is your relationship with them?
I love them, and it's like they're my girlfriends. It's like, we have a relationship.
This is normal, right?
It's real. And I know guys, I've known guys all my life to have 5 or 6 women. Okay, so don't go there on me, okay, because that's the truth.
The fact that
but they usually don't live in the same house and, all that.
They're much younger than you.
I don't look at much younger than me. I just look.
Less than, half your age. Actually, more than half your age.
Look at legal.
That's much. I look at legal.
Just look at you're you, I'm me. Now
I look at legal.
I don't know if you're married. I don't know. I don't know if you had a relationship. I don't know what I don't know.
Hey, Gail, I don't know. You and Oprah. Okay.
But one might be older than the other.
I think Oprah's a little older.
One might be younger than the other. Okay. So I just look at
legal.
Okay.
That's
there
great.
Are older men that like
that
younger
so
women.
Telling.
Is that
there
true?
Are younger women that like older men.
Are you an older man that likes younger women?
I'm an older man that love all women.
Yeah, all women.
Kelly says he met Joycelyn Savage after her father brought her to one of his concerts when she was 19.
Is that a good idea, Dad?
Looking for a Joycelyn Savage. I was doing my show.
Yeah, you were.
He brought her and asked a friend of mine to put her on the stage with R. Kelly. Make sure she's on the stage.
Azriel Clary also met Kelly at one of his concerts. Her parents say Kelly pulled the then 17-year-old on stage back in 2015. They say they had hoped that she would become Kelly's musical protege. Azriel Clary.
Yeah, musical protege. Has she been singing? I haven't heard her sing. I'm not a household name yet.
What can you tell? What is your relationship with her?
Right now, I'm seeing her.
You were seeing her?
Yeah, she's 21. I'm seeing her.
She's 21.
Yeah.
But did you start seeing her at 17?
Absolutely not.
Did you have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Although her parents wanted me to.
No, her parents claim they have text messages that show that you had sex with her when she was 17.
Claim.
So you're saying you did not have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not.
You are with two women right now. You love them. They say they love you. What kind of love is it that keeps these young women away from their families?
Yeah,
their families are saying.
These.
I'm talking right now about Jocelyn
because you
and
know
Azrael.
I'm going to answer your question.
What kind of love is that?
What kind of father? What kind of mother?
You're a father.
Will sell their daughter to a man.
Who did? Wait. He just said that the girls were sold to him.
Did that?
How come it was okay for me to see them until they wasn't getting no money from it?
Wow.
Why would you take your daughter?
He just admitted that he has been paying the parents so he could see the daughters.
I'm going to take my daughter, and she's 19 years old, to a 49-year-old icon, whatever, celebrity, or R. Kelly concert, or whoever it is. I'm not going to put her on the stage and leave her. I'm going to take her to the concert. Their father is more into my music and know about my music than they do.
You're saying the parents handed their daughters, Azrael and Jocelyn, over to you? Is that what you're saying to us?
Absolutely.
Wow, this is a sick man. Look at that. This is a really sick dude.
Are the cameras still going? Yes. Absolutely.
After the interview, apparently Jocelyn called her parents. Hadn't heard from them in a long time. The first time they had spoken since the family claimed she was in danger. She said she was happy and fine. Paused when her siblings told her they loved her. Her mother, Jonjolyn, asked if anyone was listening to the call. Jocelyn insisted there was not. She suddenly ended the call when asked why they had not been in touch, saying, "I have to go." Savage family maintains she's being controlled and brainwashed. Wow. He just admitted it all. Another day, another fake racist hate crime. Couple of them, actually. One that's just going to make you... one other thing on R. Kelly. Police are investigating new allegations. R&B singer R. Kelly raped a 13-year-old girl over a 4-year period and gave her herpes. She's 30. Claimed he lured it into her Detroit hotel room. She was 13. Hotel room. The woman told investigators that she was visiting her mother in Michigan at this time and was introduced to the singer by her friend, who happened to be Kelly's assistant, who apparently goes around looking for 13-year-olds for him to have sex with. She alleges that Kelly visited her at her Atlanta home over the next 4 years, gave her herpes when she was 17. There you go. 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse. Put on the orange jumpsuit. Okay. Fake hate crimes on the way. Let's talk a little bit about pit barrel cookers. Pit barrel cookers are amazing. They are glorious. They're one of the finest smokers/grills you could possibly get. They're easy to assemble. Literally, it takes about a minute to assemble it. All you got to do is put the handles on either side and the handle on the top. They look like horseshoes. They are glorious. This will last you a good share of the rest of your life, if not your entire rest of your life. Pit barrel cookers. Some of the food that I made there on the right. Okay, you can get the pit barrel, the classic, which is that one. It's 18 inches across at the top, about 3 feet high. The junior is about 2/3 the size of it. All you got to do is go there to pitbarrelcooker.com, go shop, and you can get their rubs, you can get their spices, you can get their hooks for the meat, you could get all sorts of accessories. It's fantastic. Pitbarrelcooker.com. That's pitbarrelcooker.com. So, Jussie Smollett has disappeared from the media because the media lost the narrative. They lied about it. They wanted to insist that the country was racist, that Trump supporters were racist, and they would attack a gay black man in the middle of the cold snap in Chicago in the middle of the night because they hate him so much. So they put a noose around his neck and covered him with bleach and all this stuff, and it never happened. He paid 2 African dudes to do it. The evidence is clear, even though Queen Latifah won't accept it. But where's the story? The media was done with it. There were no apologies. There were no, guys, we really screwed up, man. It was just, okay, we're done. Bye, move on. It's like the Cub Cath boys. Didn't meet the narrative. Where'd they go? Where'd the The Indian activist, the Native American elder, what happened to him? Where'd he go? I thought he was this victim. He should be on the on the news every night. He should be a regular guest on MSNBC about the Native American rights. No, because it was all a lie. And now they're covering their asses. Mother Jones D.C. Bureau Chief David Korn claimed he spotted obscene graffiti targeting Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at an airport, Houston, on Tuesday. The staff read his tweet about it and said, hey, man, let's go clean this up. Korn has 700,000 followers who are just idiots. Said he spotted the graffiti inside a stall at the Phoenix Sky Harbor International, declared to take a photo of it. I just spotted obscene anti-AOC graffiti in the bathroom. Yes, really. Says, but I'm not going to post a photo of it. 20 minutes later, Phoenix Sky Harbor Twitter account replied to Korn's asking whether he could confirm which terminal and concourse the graffiti happened on. Where is it? Korn responded over 8 hours later saying, I was on a United flight to Houston about noon near that gate. On Wednesday morning, the airport told Korn that its facilities crew searched the bathrooms, didn't find any purported drawing. Thanks for the follow-up. Our facilities team checked the restrooms in that area that night, didn't find anything else. Those restrooms are checked and cleaned several times a day. Korn then said the purported graffiti was drawn in black marker, raised the prospect that it may have been wiped off before the cleaning crew arrived. He then asked the airport to follow him so he could privately message the drawing. So he had to go find a stainless steel wall to draw on and take a picture in the meantime. 2017, Mother Jones launched an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct against Korn after 2 emails from staffers alleged he inappropriately touched female employees and made jokes about rape and women's sexuality and anatomy. Just threw that at the end there. Now, this is fantastic. Danielle Bird McPherson, volunteer mayor of Lamar, South Carolina, said she was a victim of a hate crime. She found a yellow sticky substance that seemed to have been sprayed on her car early last month. McPherson had returned to her home February the 7th and told the magazine that her husband went out to get some things in the car out of the garage. He says, somebody's painted your car. It was a grainy substance like industrial spray foam used to patch concrete. It looked like little pebbles. The stuff was on her husband's car as well. McPherson told Newsweek she likened it as a hate crime because, number one, there's a history of racism in our town of Lamar. In an interview with WPDE TV, the mayor said during the 70s, crosses were burned in the yard of our home when my mother was involved in the civil rights movement on the very same quarter in this very same front yard. Newsweek said police have a simpler explanation. It's pollen. Yeah, that yellow sticky stuff that gets on your car almost anywhere in the country in the spring. An incident report the magazine obtained that McPherson and her husband streaked fingers over their new car surfaces, realized it was not paint, that the substance could be removed with a finger. Her statement to WPDE, the incident happened last night. Even though I drove my car today, I thought it was pollen. My husband and our neighbor noticed the vehicles. The cars looked like someone had spray painted them. Nevertheless, McPherson told Newsweek the incident haunted her. Listen to this. It ignited some fear in my spirit. My God, who would do that? It was something. It was just unnerving to me. Well, the trees did it. And while no words or symbols were drawn in the substance, she told the magazine, to me, that was just the message. This is fantastic. So it was pollen, and she's still saying it haunted her. Darlington County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Robbie Kilgo told Newsweek that we found it to be pollen. There was no reason for us to collect a sample. The incident report obtained by the magazine noted that the sergeant had a deputy immediately come to the conclusion that the substance had a yellowish tint to it. It was pollen. Apparently, the experts, the law enforcement officials, looked at the substance, said there's no need for an investigation because we did not believe a crime occurred. Nevertheless, McPherson told this, Newsweek the sticky substance is something, and that it took 2 different solutions to get it off. No, not really. More from the magazine. When McPherson attended a town meeting after the incident, she learned from her local law enforcement personnel there had been additional threats. Yeah. There's a police officer who came to me and said, there are rumors out there and they're going to assassinate you. Sure. Well, maybe if you got an allergy. I don't know. Maybe you're just really allergic to pollen. She had asked the local law enforcement to file a complaint about the purported death threat as well. That's a federal crime. Now, she made this up as well. In the end, McPherson told Newsweek she's more concerned about whatever may have been intended. I don't care about the car. What I want is my life. Unbelievable. Mentally ill woman. Mentally ill woman. I'm going to wrap things up with something, and this is sad, but I just want to share it with you. Alex Trebek came on YouTube yesterday and admitted that he's very sick. Alex Trebek is 78 years old, and I like Jeopardy. I'm not I don't know Alex Trebek from Adam, whatever, but he's a pop culture icon, and I thought it was brave of him and big of him to say this, facing the daunting challenge that he is facing right now.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open and transparent with our Jeopardy fan base. I also wanted to prevent you from reading or hearing some overblown or inaccurate reports regarding my health. So therefore, I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now, just like 50,000 other people in the United States each year, this week, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally, the prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working, and with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease. Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years. So help me. Keep the faith, and we'll win. We'll get it done.
I hope so.
Thank you.
I hope so. I really do. I'm going to just say one thing before I go. I lost a friend this week, Chris Butler. He did a number of shows with me. I worked with him for a number of years with him on the radio. He works with Butler, Lands and Wagler as a local investment agency. He has a radio show called Free Market Underground. And a few months ago, I had learned that something had been discovered in his body that should not have been there. And this last weekend, after several months, he passed away. And he was was I his best friend? No, we worked together. But I just loved working with him. He was a joy. He was a light. He had a sense of humor. He was stiff as hell sometimes. Always wearing a suit. Always had the tie buttoned up, and I was always giving him grief about that. And he'd come to my home, and we would do this show called Free Market Underground. And we had some plans for the future, and they were delayed slightly because Facebook came down on my publisher. So we had some delays, and then once we got the ball rolling, I had heard that there was something wrong, and Chris ultimately passed from it. So I just want to say, as someone who was a friend, wasn't his best buddy, but I just enjoyed him. I enjoyed Chris Butler. I really did. I will miss his conversations about the Honeycrisp Apple Cartel and other things. So God bless you, Chris, wherever you are. God bless you and your family. My prayers are with you. My prayers are with you so much. Thank you for being a little part of my life. And to Alex Trebek also, God bless you, Godspeed, because I just can't imagine. I cannot imagine. All right, guys. Thank you for watching today. I do appreciate it. Thank you for watching The Range. If you would support us and share the word and share this podcast on your timeline and share the Terry Little page and The Range Broadcasting, I'd greatly appreciate it. We're making a go of it. People are leaving Facebook, making mass exodus from Facebook, and there are other alternatives out there, people who have things to say that are great and awesome, and they're great entertainers and informers, and they can do it without a big network and without a big social network as well. So see you soon, guys. God bless you, Chris, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now.